Hi. Hello, friends. How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, we know the drill now. It's our Wednesday live at 5. If you're getting me live, give me a hashtag live in the comments. And if you're getting me on the jolly fun ride of replay, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. So I'm just going to doubly make sure that we're working as we should be. There we've got Archie. Hi, Archie. Not my Archie. We always have to caveat Archie with not my Archie. And do we have anybody here? Do we have anybody here? Yes. Oh, yes, baby. Oh, yes, baby. So tonight, hot topic, we are talking about hunger hormones. So this is a very good topic. I've been doing a lot of reading about this over the past couple of weeks. And for existing ladies in the EMW Academy, I've just posted in the group, I've got a fact sheet that is going to be coming to you early next week. It's going to go into a little bit more detail than what we're doing here. Apologies, non-client ladies, but I'm going to put more information in our client area. And what else have we got going on? We've just finished up a 5-day mini course, which was our last one of the year, which was epic. Loved it. It was amazing. And if you're in that, thank you very much for joining us. And if you weren't, why not? What happened? Come and join the gang. Next one, we're not going to do one for a good couple of months, I don't think, because it's a lot of energy and it's a lot of background work. And we really want to get the most out of it. And what else? Oh, big welcome to the lovely Michelle, who's joined us at our Academy group today. And yeah, it's all fun and go in the run up to Christmas and that. So we've got quite a few people here, so I can see some lovely names. Have we got all the hashtag lives? Remember, we want accountability, we want taking action. Oh yes, baby. So we've got Claire, we've got Shirley. Let's see. Right. Okay. Hunger hormones. So this is not a topic that a lot of people talk about in the health or the weight loss space, and it's really quite interesting because it plays such a big part. And hormones, as you know, are kind of bag, if you like. You know, when you are from late 30s onwards, our hormones are changing. Primarily our sex hormones, which is your estrogen, progesterone and testosterone. But there's a shit ton of other hormones in our body as well. And hunger hormones are just a part of that. Along with things like cortisol, etc., etc., etc. So primarily we're going to talk about hunger hormones tonight. So there's two main ones, and you don't need to write that. Oh, you can write it down if you want. So we've got leptin, which is made by fat cells in the body, and that decreases your appetite. And we have ghrelin, which I always think is a ridiculous name. It's funny. Ghrelin is a hormone that increases appetite. So it increases your hunger levels. So it's a hunger hormone. And they both play a huge part in our body weight. And they play a huge part in our ability to lose body fat. Okay? So I want you to think about the common things that you will have been told, like it's nothing to do with calories, it's your ketones, or it's actually all to do with calories in and calories out. And there is there's always a caveat when it comes to fat loss of it depends. And it really can depend. But if you think about all the people that you know that are eating bird food, they're eating salads, they're eating 1,200 calories a day, and they're exercising loads, and you know, they're really doing it. They're really like sticking to this low calorie diet. They're really exercising. So they are obviously consuming far less calories than they're expending, but they're not actually losing any weight. And that's when we need to look at other things like hormones. We need to look at things like sleep and recovery and all these different elements that play a part. But then when it is the place of somebody who is, you know, chronically dieting, over restricting, whatever, it's not, at that point, it's then not really a lot to do with body genetics, metabolism, willpower. And there will be elements of there are some people that they're not actually under consuming calories because they get so hungry that they're actually binge eating at the end of the day or the end of the week or whatever, so their calories actually work out equal. But when we're looking at purely the hormonal element, if we can turn off that hunger switch, that hormone that is going, oh, ghrelin's going up, I'm getting hungry and hungry. If we can turn that off, we never really have to worry about dieting ever again. And this is one of the key components of permanent fat loss. One of the key components. And when we learn to control this hormone, when we get this working for us, we see weight coming off easily, in people that have maybe never been able to lose any more than 2-3 pounds, or people that have dieted for their lives, and they lose the same half a stone and gain the same half a stone, and we start seeing big results coming off where people are actually surprised, going, how did that happen? I've tried so many things before. So when we're talking about these hunger hormones, so if somebody is under eating, under consuming, receiving less energy than what they need, then their ghrelin levels are going to increase. That is, their hunger levels are going to increase, as you would expect. And if they are overeating, their ghrelin hormone will decrease. And that makes sense, because if you're under eating, you're going to be hungry. If you're overeating, you shouldn't be hungry. And then when we look at studies, there's been a lot of studies in children that I could find. This was really weird. I was like, why are there all these studies in children? And then it hit me, and I think I talked about this last week, is that when it comes to research in hormones, there's not an awful lot, because it's so hard to get the baseline, because hormonal women, who are women are hormonal all their life, essentially, not in a we're raging all the time, but we have peaks and troughs with our various hormones over the years. It's really hard to get a baseline. It's really hard to get a this is the average, because there is no such thing. So then it made sense why all these studies have been done on this hormone in children and rats, strangely. Anyway, so that is coming through in the research. But once we get this, when this ghrelin switches on, so when our ghrelin levels are high, metabolism is going down. Metabolism goes down because your body's not in homeostasis, and homeostasis just means the nice happy place where everything is aligned and doing what it needs to do. But when your metabolism goes down and your ghrelin levels are up, i.e. your hunger switch is on, cravings are going to go up. So that means if you're under eating, so say I used this example last night in the 5-day challenge, so you're on a diet, right? That's it, I'm on a diet and I'm going to eat salads, I'm going to follow this plan to the letter, and I'm going to eat all these superfoods, and I'm going to do all the exercise, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm going to lose all the weight, and I'm going to be happy. You get to a certain point where you're going to start craving, because your ghrelin levels are up, and you're going to want the shit foods, the shit food that you really, really like. So whether that is, you're salty, I need something salty, or I need something really super sweet. For most people, it tends to be sugar, but you do get some people that want it to be savoury, salty. And when that happens, your body is trying to stop you from losing weight, because your metabolism slowed down, and your body wants your metabolism to work properly. Your body wants all its bodily functions to work properly. And if something is not working properly, then it stops essentially focusing on all the other areas. So if your metabolism isn't working very well, isn't working as it should, because all these hormones are out of balance, the homeostasis is gone, it's all wacky. This is obviously a scientific reflection of what hormones do. But then you're going to stop losing weight, because your metabolism isn't working properly, your hormones are all over the place. And that then doesn't matter. I mean, you can have these cravings, and there's nobody has the willpower to stop cravings. Cravings are such an emotional thing, and we now know that they're a hormonal thing. So your body is going to fight like hell to stop losing weight. And you're just going to binge. You're going to succumb to the cravings. And then when we succumb to the cravings, we tend to then overeat. So we don't get hungry, but we do get guilt, because it's the emotional connection of, why can't I do this? This is shit, blah, 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 blah. I'm so bad. I keep failing, etc., etc., etc. So you could be eating you know, the 1,200 calories a day, or the 1,000. I spoke to a lady earlier this week, who had been eating 1,000 calories a day, and she'd been given that by a coach, 1,000 calories a day, which she was doing for 3 or 4 days of the week. But then she was all over the place the rest of the week because she was starving, essentially, and she was hungry all the time, and she was grumpy, and she was no energy, and her skin was a riot, and her hair was a mess because nothing was working together. So anyway, so you probably know, for those of you that have done something that has felt quite restrictive, you'll know about the cravings, you'll know about the obsession with food, you'll know about the lack of energy, you'll know about the lack of sleep, or the agitated sleep, or the, you know, waking up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, I'm actually starving. But then when you are doing that level of over restriction, that hunger switch is on. It is on with a big red warning light of on. So we need to get a handle on that. So how do we do it? It's a combination. It depends is the answer, but really it depends. So we've got some techniques that we use with our clients in our Eat Move 1 Body Balance Blueprint, which means that we can start bypassing the hunger switch. And then your body stops fighting against you, essentially, so that you lose weight as part of the hormonal kind of recalibration, if you like. So it's 2 wins for 1. But the good news is that when we stop with the over restriction, when we start eating what we want to eat, what we enjoy to eat, and eating within, you know, certain parameters, you know, we don't say to our ladies, right, you're gonna go and eat exactly what you want when you want all day long, because for most people they're in habits of, oh, I really want pizza and wine and whatever, you know, that's not going to work. But when we take away the pressure of, you know, it has to be this, and this, go and eat what you want within these parameters, we remove that over restriction. And when we combine that with strategic changes to mindset, to behavior change, lifestyle, we are basically manipulating all of these hormones, the muscle building aspect, the fat burning aspect, to work for you instead of against you, so that, you know, everything is working as it should. You're losing weight and you're still eating nice foods. It doesn't feel like a diet. We're working on mindset. We're creating new patterns and behaviours and thought processes and making the right decisions and becoming the person that we want to be, so that everything is all working in conjunction, rather than this whole, oh my God, I'm hungry all the time and I'm just going to go and eat all this shite. But the bad news is, if we don't do it the right way, it doesn't matter that you undercut your calories. It doesn't matter that you do 7 HIIT classes a week. It doesn't matter that you cut out carbs. It doesn't matter how strong your willpower is. That doesn't switch off that hunger switch. That has to all work in conjunction. And it's almost like, you know, one of the things that always comes through from our clients, and when they finish it up, is this whole like, oh my God, it's not a diet. It doesn't feel like a diet. It's, you know, and it shouldn't feel like a diet, because a diet is a short-term thing that you can't sustain, and most of you probably know that already. But it has to be something that you and your family can live with for the rest of your days, and something that you can follow. You know, your routines, your behaviours, your habits are there. So when you aren't feeling motivated, when you have got shit going on in your life, you know, you're falling to your standard of your patterns and your behaviours. So it all works in conjunction. So that is basically how we get a handle on our hunger switch. So we want to try, there's no way of medically changing our ghrelin levels, and there's no way of medically changing our leptin levels. It all has to come through in conjunction with good nutrition, because ultimately most hormonal changes like this, not sex hormone changes, they can of course be changed and managed with use of something like HRT, but leptin and ghrelin can all be controlled by the use of diet, exercise, mindset work, which is incredible because that's what we do. That's amazing. So yeah, so I just thought that was a really, really interesting lot of information to be thinking of, that next time, whenever you are deciding to go on a weight loss mission, you're like, right, I've got my mojo back and I'm going to go and do 1,200 calories. I'm going to do all this exercise. That's what's going to happen. Your ghrelin levels are going to go up, and that doesn't matter what you do. You will be hungry and you will binge, crave, whatever your response is to that. That's what will happen. So you need to really take a step back and consider, okay, that I can't do that. How am I going to do it instead? So if you need help on that, that's what we're here for. Reach out. Absolutely. We can have a conversation. We don't even, actually even better news. I'm going to talk about that next week. Put your hand up and ask for help, because if you've been on a cycle for years and years and years, that is almost your homeostasis, this up and down all the time. And I think for most women, it's a bit of a revelation when we stop with the over restriction and we realize that we can actually eat and enjoy foods and go out for meals and have wine and feel in control. That's probably one of the big things, actually, feeling in control again. So, does anyone have any questions for me on that? I have 7 minutes-ish. 4 minutes. I can't, my clocks are all different. I'm looking at my phone, my computer clock, my monitor clock, everything's changing. So do we have any questions on any of that at all? Let me know. Pop them in the chat box. I need to go and look at the other. That's Archie just run up the stairs to the Wi-Fi. I'll probably go. Oh yeah, good point, Clara. I forgot about that. So for our lovely EMW Academy members, we have Petra's Wardrobe in tonight for our stylist session. For those of you that haven't heard me talking about the stylist session, it's incredible. And the reason why we do this is because we have so many women that come in, and one of their big reasons why they want to make changes is because they've got lovely clothes in the wardrobe that don't fit them and they want to be able to wear them. But then what can happen is they do get into them and they do fit them and they go, actually, I don't like these anymore. I want new clothes. I want a whole new wardrobe, but I don't know what to wear. I don't know what suits me. So we have a stylist, an independent stylist that comes in, and she comes in every two-ish months. And she's incredible. If you want to follow her on Instagram, she is Petra's Wardrobe. A lot of inspiration there, and she's very into not fast fashion. I don't know what the slow fashion. She's very into sustainable fashion, which is appealing to me. So, Vicky Worrell, you have started eating too much for some reason, because I don't know why. You need to dig in and have a wee think about that. Is it a pattern? Is it habit? Is it hormones? Is it cycle? Have a look at that. Is it stress? Because that can also, when we raise cortisol levels, that can also increase our ghrelin levels. So when we are stressed, we tend to get hungrier. For some people, they'd actually find getting high stressed can lower their ghrelin levels and increase their leptin levels, but for the majority of people it tends to be increasing ghrelin. And also what we might find is, when this is another hormonal piece, that when we are stressed, we start storing weight more around our middle, and that again is a very hormonal reaction. We also start storing weight more around our middle as we get older, and our sex hormones are changing as well. So it's being in your 40s or 50s and then being high stressed isn't really that great for the middle area. So this is why it's really important that we are minimizing stress, but we are also able to deal with stress in a different way and change our coping mechanisms. Because for a lot of women, we can't remove the stresses, because for most women, the stresses are a combination of career, work, relationships, family. And they don't you can't really just get rid of those, can you? You can't, right, that's it, I don't want you, family, you're all stressing me out. You can't control the reasons for the stress, but we can control and change how we react and how we deal with that. And that's a key component. And we also want to maximize our recovery, which also means, you know, improving our sleep quality or our sleep quantity. Because lack of sleep is yet another form of stress in the body, which we now know is going to increase the body fat storage capacity of the abdomen, which we don't want. So yeah, so on short, don't get stressed. And don't over restrict, don't over exercise, because you're going to feel hungrier and then you're going to get cravings and then you're going to binge eat. Easy peasy. It's like I know what to do, but eating more and putting weight. Go and write yourself down. What would future Vicky do? And then go and do what you know you need to do. For those of you who don't know, I do know Vicky quite well. So I feel that I can just be quite blunt there. And she will be very blunt back to me. Standard. Okay. So, has everybody put their hand up for the Christmas pack? We have been over snowed. I can't get words out. We've had a heck of a response. So thank you everybody that's put their hands up for you. Please read it when we send it to you. It is a good old document. There's some fun recipes. There's some great hints and tips for managing Christmas. Some other key dates for your diary is next Friday at 2 p.m. Clara and I are going to do our very last Ask Us Anything session of the year. And I suspect it's probably just going to be utter carnage and hilarity. So please join us for that. Can't wait for that. I am working on some new things for our clients and also for ladies in the group, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit more next week. Thank you, Leanne. It is good. I'm very proud of the Christmas pack. I especially like my recommendations for how to make Christmas lunch. Yeah, go and read that bit. That's my favourite bit of the entire pack. Yeah, so that's it. Key dates. I don't know if I'm going to do a session. I don't even know what the date is next week. What is the date next week? It's the 15th. Yeah, I'll do another session. So if anybody has anything, special requests for what you want me to go over next Wednesday for our masterclass, that will be our final masterclass of before Christmas. Might do one in between Christmas and New Year, we'll see. So if you have any special requests, I am all ears. I'm here for you. I want to make life easier for you and give you the tools, education and knowledge to crush your goals. That's it. That's all what we want. So I will bid you a farewell. As you can tell, I'm quite croaky. Feel fine, just a bit croaky. So thanks, Vicky. My face is stuck and it's funny. Okay. So yeah, reach out if you need any more help, and I will speak to you all very soon. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have an amazing night, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.